Hey guys, Matt from Amateur Filmies, and welcome to a brand new video. I'll be showing you what Sarah and I got during the Vinegar Syndrome Black Friday sale. In this beautiful box here, we got 8 different releases, and as is usual with recent sales, I haven't had the chance to check out most of these yet, but I still really wanted to show you guys what we got. Absolutely love Vinegar Syndrome, and some releases in here in particular I was very excited for. So let's get started. So the first release we have here is the film Angel. And this is part of a franchise, actually, and this was originally put out in a limited edition box set by Vinegar Syndrome, which I missed out on, unfortunately, but I knew that I still really wanted to check out the first one because I've heard people say so many good things about this movie and how campy and silly and fun it is. I'm yet to watch it myself, obviously, so I can't attest to that, but it is one that I'm really looking forward to. I'd also like to know from you guys as well if you think the sequels to this film are worth getting as well from them, because I have heard great things about this one, but not so much the sequels, but hearing from you guys is always something that Sarah and I look out for. So if you do recommend them, let us know. But yeah, as I already said, I'm expecting this one to be great fun. So from this point on, it's all going to be limited edition slips and a couple of box sets as well, which is nice. The first of which is the film Resurrection. And I don't know if this was like a Black Friday announced title. I don't think it was. I wasn't paying too much attention, but I didn't actually even realize that Vinegar Syndrome had announced this. And while I didn't know about this film prior to them announcing it, the thing that caught my eye was that it starred Christopher Lambert, and I like him in Fortress and Highlander and that, so I thought that was cool. But also, apparently, after reading a little bit about the film, it's supposed to be like a kind of rip-offy version of the film Seven from the 90s, obviously with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. And I think it was probably common at that time to sort of do those really gritty sort of detective style movies since the huge success of Seven. And so I figured, great looking slip, Christopher Lambert, it's going to be, possibly a rip-off of Seven with some cool, religious themes. I wanted to give it a go. It seems, based on online reviews, that it's supposed to be pretty good. So again, I'm very keen to see it. I'll actually show you guys a box set next. This one here is the films of Rudy Ray Moore. It was really cool because obviously, and I'm sure most of you know, when Vinegar Syndrome have these halfway to Black Friday or Black Friday sales, they usually they reissue some slips or they make new slips for existing titles. And in this case, they made a box set to contain all the films that they've released, the Rudy Ray Moore films. So in here you get Dolomite, The Human Tornado, Petey Wheatstraw, and Disco Godfather. The films are already inside this box here. The only film I was missing was Disco Godfather, so I picked up that and this box. And, I'm a huge fan of Vinegar Syndrome's box set designs. I think they're excellent. And on top of that, I've really enjoyed the Rudy Ray Moore films that I've seen, especially Dolomite, of course, which is iconic. I still want to see the Eddie Murphy Dolomite, actually. They came out a couple of years ago now. But the fact that we have such a beautiful box that can house all these films is really good. It's going to look great on the shelf. And yeah, I'm sure I'll check out Disco Godfather sometime soon. This next release was one that I absolutely knew that I was going to pick up during the sale, and probably for obvious reasons. And this one here is Trauma, directed by Dario Argento, which, if you can't guess, that's the big reason why I wanted to grab this film, because you guys already know how much of a fan I am of Dario Argento, but there are a lot of films in his filmography that I actually don't own on physical releases. Like, I've got all the heavy hitters like Deep Red, Suspiria, Phenomena, and all those. But other sort of later releases like Stendhal Syndrome and Trauma, I actually don't have a physical release of, so I knew that I wanted to grab this one and finally check out some of his other works that I haven't had access to. I think this one is supposed to be pretty good, and it also stars Asia Argento, who became a fixture in some of his later films. But yeah, I'm hoping for good things. I'm not sure how it ranks against, the ones he's really known for, but yeah, very, very curious about it. I'm expecting, again, some grimy stuff, some unique cinematography, hopefully some cool lighting like there is in his other films. So yeah, very, very excited to see this one. Let me know what you guys think of it as well. So I'll show you the other box set that we picked up during this sale, and that is the Televised Terror Volume 1 box set. This one has been out for a while. I did opt to get the Homegrown Horrors Volume 1 box set during their previous sale, just because I thought those films would appeal to me a bit more. And, I was right, I actually did end up loving all of those movies pretty much. But yeah, the Televised Terror box set, I thought I'd take a chance on this one. Obviously, I'm guilty of just wanting to own a box set regardless of the films, which is a really bad habit. But the thing I like about this, the idea behind this box set is that it stars really well-known actors and actresses, but back when their careers were first starting. And obviously these are TV horror films as well, so it's going to be cool to see actors like Elijah Wood, like really early on in his career. And I think Tom Skerritt might be the other one. Not that it's early on in his career, but just that there's like these famous actors in these really little unknown horror movies, I think is a cool idea. So I'm not sure what to expect. As I said, I've seen the trailers and I've read about the films, but as far as how good they're going to be, I'm not too sure. But regardless, I think I'm still going to get something out of it. So yeah, looking forward to seeing these as well. So these next two releases I'm going to show you are both 4K titles, which is really awesome. And the first one is the film Ticks. First off, I absolutely adore this packaging with the, the little slip box and the slip cover inside. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm a big sucker for this type of packaging. And, but yeah, I'm really excited to watch this one because, I'm a huge fan of creature feature films and in particular bug horror films, which I know is a very like niche subgenre of horror films, but I always find them to be really fun. Like another ones that off the top of my head that I think are really fun are like Squirm and Slugs, which are both released by Arrow Video. But a little bonus on top of this is that it actually stars Seth Green, which is like really great and random to me. But it's going to be cool to see him in this because I think it came out in the 90s. And, I like that era of, Seth Green's films, like Idle Hands, for example. So it'd be cool to see him in an earlier film. But also stars Clint Howard as well. And I always find him to be a real dominating presence on screen on, like, these sort of indie low budget horror films. I really liked him in Ice Cream Man, for example. So I'm expecting, a pretty wacky performance from him in particular. But yeah, really, really keen to check this out. It's so cool to me. I've said this before in other videos, but like, it's so cool to me that films like this are getting the 4K treatment. So yeah, very, very excited to see some, I'm sure, grisly deaths in this film on screen. So this last title I'm about to show you is by far the one that I was most excited to see get announced. It was one of the mystery titles that they revealed when the sale began, and that is The Ebola Syndrome, directed by Herman Lau and starring Anthony Wong. I've said before, I'm a huge fan of like the Hong Kong Category 3 films. A lot of them are absolutely insane with so many crazy stuff going on in it, really unique plot ideas, just a whole bunch of wild stuff in it. And this one, and I would say The Untold Story, are probably the most well-known, I guess, flagship titles of that sort of era of, Category 3 films. This one, to my knowledge, wasn't available for a really long time. I did, for the longest time, I had this crappy DVD bootleg, which had really terrible picture quality and pretty sure inaccurate subtitles. It had scenes missing, so it wasn't that great. I only got it because it was a film that I'd known about for a long time, and I just wanted to see it. But to actually have a proper 4K release of this film with the missing scenes included, picture quality improved, all that sort of stuff is just absolutely fantastic. So just to talk about the film for a brief moment, I think this is probably one of the most disgusting, most offensive movies that I've ever seen. And so it's hard to recommend a good conscience, but I feel like if you're watching this video and you're somewhat familiar with this film or the Category 3 films in general, you're going to know if this is for you. I would just advise you very strongly not to watch this with people who aren't prepared for this type of film because, as I said, it's extremely graphic and very offensive as well. But parts of the film that I did like were Anthony Wong, the main actor. His character is an absolutely despicable menace to society, but I feel like Anthony Wong really embraced the role very well. So he's a very dominating presence on screen for sure. One thing I did want to quickly mention as well was the sort of tone and the blending of genres in this film, because you may have seen this be described as a horror comedy. And I think my main issue with this is that, I've already alluded to, how brutal this movie is. These scenes in particular are often, meshed with comedic dialogue or attempted comedic dialogue. But the problem is that the scenes that you're seeing are, I guess, so traumatic for the viewer that there's nothing that the characters could say that would really make light of those situations that you're seeing. I think any of the laughs that I gave in this movie were just about how absurd these characters are and why, like, I was wondering why were they saying these things, and it's just, yeah, it's so outlandish. That's probably what made me laugh the most in the movie. Not necessarily any of the content itself was funny. It's just, I couldn't believe what some of these characters were actually saying. So keep that in mind. It's not a traditional horror comedy by any stretch of the imagination. But it's very hard to describe and sort of encapsulate what I'm trying to say with this particular movie since it's such a crazy, whacked movie. I think, look, at the end of the day, I'm glad to own it, as I've already said. I was very excited when they announced this because I do enjoy the film for what it is. It's definitely not for everyone, as I've already mentioned, but, I'm a big lover of the Hong Kong Category 3 films. This is one that I knew that I had to own, and I do enjoy it. I just wanted to sort of mention those quick things, just in case you were wondering if it'd be something that interests you. Just be very, very warned when you buy this movie. Don't expect anything light because, yeah, as I've said, you need to be in a particular mindset to watch a movie like this, I would say. Awesome, and so that brings us to the end of the video. I apologize for it being a little bit of a shorter one, but as I've already mentioned, these films, they literally only came in the mail not that long ago, so I haven't had the chance to watch many of them. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what we got. Let me know what you think of the movies I've got. If you've seen any of them, I'd love to hear your thoughts on them, and also let me know what you picked up as well, because, I always like having more ideas for the next Vinegar Syndrome sale, so let me know what you guys got or what you recommend, so I have more things to add to my shopping cart later. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, and Merry Christmas as well.